Good morning. Welcome back to Withrow Urban Homestead. It's April 17th, and instead of directly sowing sunflowers, I'm going to start them in pots because I want to share them with my community. I'll pass them out free. I do it every year. For Mammoth sunflowers, you know, the great big flowers that have the one big head. I start new seeds every year, even if they're heirloom, because they cross-pollinate with other types of sunflowers. And I do save my own seeds, and I've saved Mammoth in the past, but the next year they had multi-sunflowers instead of just one. They had crossed with something. I've bought seeds through different companies through the years, and this year I bought my Mammoth sunflower seeds from one of my favorite companies, Botanical Interests. My local nursery carries these, and that's where I found them originally, and they have beautiful artwork, lots of information, and even information on the inside. For many years, I've bought my Mammoth sunflower seeds from Baker Creek. It's really popular with heirloom seed growers. I like that this company always sends you one free pack of seeds. This is another good company. This is, both of these seed companies, all the seeds are heirloom. And this company is specific to my region. My local co-op food store sells these, and they cater to Southeast United States. It's always beneficial to buy seeds that are grown in your region. They're more adapted to your weather. This is a good seed company. Sunflowers don't like their roots to be disturbed. So I don't plant to mass sow them and then prick them out. I'm going to put one seed in each one of these cells. And when I give them away to the neighbors, they can cut them apart, or sometimes people will take 6 at a time. This tray holds 36 cells. And I'm going to grow 2 trays worth, so 72 Mammoth sunflowers to share with the community. Last year, a few people stopped by and they let me know that some of them were having a contest. A local renovation company, somebody collected sunflowers for all the employees, and they had a contest to see who could grow the biggest. Someone else told me that she collected them for a school. And one neighbor across the street told me every day she was excited to get home and see what I put out on the shelf. A lot of people look forward to these every year, and it makes me feel good. For myself, I'm going to plant my sunflowers in 4-inch pots. Because all my urban wildlife in the garden would pick direct sown seeds, I like to plant them in pots. And I like to plant them along the fence, and that would be really hard to protect with a low tunnel. Now these are strong pots that cost more. That's another reason I don't want to use these to give away to the community. So I'm going to plant 6 Mammoth. I'm going to use Pro Mix Organic Garden potting soil. I like that it comes in a compressed container. It has a handle. It's easy to store that way. Here's the bag. Any potting soil is fine to use though. Just make sure you pre-wet it. Because this one comes compressed, it requires a lot of water to rehydrate. It's really dry. So I don't want to start with dry soil. It's a good sized seed. You want to bury them about a 1/4 to a 1/2 inch deep. Basically, double the size of the seed, double that depth. Here they are. See, they're a pretty good sized seed. Sunflowers germinate in 70 to 85 degree temperatures. So last night it froze. But Saturday it's going to be 88 degrees. Spring here in north central Maryland is a roller coaster of temperatures. I am going to put a greenhouse dome on top of these. Hang on, where is it? Let me show it to you. That'll help hold in the moisture. I use these when I germinate in the house too. Normally I start my seeds under lights in the basement in the warm furnace room. And they germinate easily there because it's so warm. You will read that sunflower seeds germinate in 10 to 21 days. But last year in that warm furnace room, they germinated in just 3 days. It really is all going to depend on the temperature. So daytime temperatures are warmish, but nighttime temperatures are cold. So I don't know how long it's going to take these to germinate. We'll see. This is the first time I'm trying. Oh, did I tell you? I plan to leave them outside to germinate. You can direct sow sunflower seeds directly into the soil in the garden 1 to 2 weeks after your last frost. Here in north central Maryland, that's typically the 1st and 2nd week of May. But I've noticed any volunteer sunflowers that germinate in my garden tend to pop up around mid-April. Now, if you start the seeds indoors under lights like I normally do, Don't start them too early. Wait till about 2 weeks before your last frost, because they're going to germinate and grow fast. And if you start them too early, they're going to get really tall and leggy and flop over before you're able to plant them out in the garden. Now, the reasons I'm not starting the seeds indoors under lights this year is my husband, Dale. Soon he's going to have liver transplant surgery next month in May. And I've been so busy getting ready. I don't have time to babysit seedlings indoors. I don't have time to bring them in and out of the house to harden them off. I want something easy. So I thought, I still want to share them with the community. I don't want to break that tradition. So what can I do? I've been doing that for more than 10 years, so I have a tunnel with some netting already set up, and I'm going to try with the greenhouse dome germinating the seeds outside. Thought about setting up lights in the garage, but still, that would take me having to babysit them, water them, and harden them off. So we're just going to leave these under the tunnel and let them germinate on their own. And we're going to see what happens. Here in North Central Maryland, typically I transplant my sunflowers at the beginning of May, but you can transplant them through May. I've noticed the first sunflowers planted, and the ones that get the most sun, that grow the quickest, are the first to be over with. Now, I do want to plant these at the beginning of May because I want them to get nice and tall with big heads. I'm also going to grow the multi-branched type that have lots and lots of flowers on them. But your sunflowers will blossom all throughout the summer. Now, I want to know which variety is which. I want the community to know which one they're taking. So I'm going to use a garden marker that won't fade in the sun to mark the tray. And later I'll come back and mark each individual pot. So before I bring this out to the garden, I want to water it, help the soil settle, and put on the dome. I have the cells sitting in a mesh tray that's in a hard tray with no drain holes. I can take it in and out to water. Now that dome is pretty tight, but I don't want the wind to blow it off, so I use some painter's tape to help it to stay down. And I added some Sluggo because I've learned when I put seedlings out in the garden on the soil, slugs find their way under the pots into the roots. So last year when I went to transplant some of my seedlings, I found slugs. In the past, I've always hardened them off on shelves or on the patio, but I had so many last year, I put some on the ground. And those pesky slugs got up into the root systems. So I added some Sluggos to prevent that this year. Go back and finish planting the rest of the sunflowers. For tall sunflowers with big heads, you need to plant them in full sun. And you want to give them plenty of space. I need to check my notes. Last year, I gave them 4 feet. I don't remember. The closer you point them together, the smaller your sunflowers will be. The less sun they get, the smaller your sunflowers will be. I plan to plant these without filming them. It's just going to be the same thing all over again. But come back and check the progress of our outdoor germinated sunflowers. Thank you for visiting Withrow Urban Homestead. See you later. Bye-bye.